This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNN Live. We're at the Precious Metals Summit in Beaver Creek, Colorado, 2016. I have with me Simon Jackson from Bedell Resources Limited. It's BDR on the ASX. It's a publicly traded company. Welcome to SNN Live.
Thank you very much, Shelley. It's lovely to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. What I'd like to do is to start out with an overview on Bedell and go from there.
Sure. So Bedell is an Australian-listed Brazil gold producer. We have a mine in Brazil. We produce about 150,000 ounces a year with a very unique, massive exploration potential, which is really the upside of this story.
Where in Brazil?
We are right up in the north of Brazil, actually, in Amapá State, which is north of the Amazon, north of the equator. So we're actually in the northern hemisphere in Brazil, which is unusual.
But that's gold country, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's big gold country. We're right in the middle of what they call the Guiana Shield. It's a massive gold endowment in this area that covers from Venezuela all the way down to Brazil. Over 60 million ounces of gold in that region, and we're right bang in the middle of it with a 2,500 square kilometre land package.
Let's get into the exploration side of the company, and then we'll get back to production and development.
Okay.
Tell me, what are you seeing in size?
Yeah, look,
And grade, grade.
So currently our existing reserves are about 1.5 grams grade, and we've got about 3.5 million ounces in resource. I expect that we will be able to significantly increase that through our exploration. We've only started exploring in April this year, and we're getting significantly higher grades than that, upwards of 10, 15, 20 gram grades in oxide material right next to our plant. So big upside in our position, Shelley.
So who's your offtake customers in Brazil for your particular production?
Yeah, it doesn't really work that way. We just sell our gold every week when we produce it into the world market, so we don't have individual customers.
So you have smelters and refiners,
Right.
and yeah, I understand. So anything happened lately that you'd like to tell me?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. We actually put a release out earlier this week. We've just signed an agreement with the state government electricity utility in Amapá State, and we'll be transitioning our operation from substantially a diesel power-based operation, which is very expensive, to a grid power, hydropower based operation, which is much cheaper. So we expect significant cost savings coming down the pipe.
You know, you lead me to another question about logistics, roads, and, in all fairness, you're still out in the, above the Amazon. So what's that all about?
Actually, it does sound challenging, I agree, but it's not that bad. We're about a 3.5-hour drive from a major city with a major regional airport from which you can fly to the big cities in Brazil. It's only about a 200-kilometre drive, so it's actually not that bad.
What's your background?
I'm a chartered accountant by training and by profession. I've been in the gold mining business for 25 plus years, mainly on TSX listed companies. Prior to joining Bedell, I was a member of the senior management at a company called Redback. In the last gold cycle, we built 2 mines in Africa and then sold to Kinross Gold in one of the biggest gold transactions in history.
So what's your geo team like?
Oh, they're fabulous. Look, I personally picked all of my team for this project. So we've got very experienced South American operators, not only geos, but in mining engineering and others as well. So, and a very competent board as well of industry veterans that have been involved in TSX companies and New York listed companies in South America in the last decade. So really experienced board.
I want to discuss CapEx a little bit.
Sure.
So with your facilities, you're doing about, in ounces, about
150.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you have the capacity to increase production with the current facilities?
No, not in terms of increased tonnage. My aim is to increase production by increasing grade. We could expand our facilities to have an increased tonnage, but I think targeting increased grade is the best way to go to start with.
If you look at the future of the company, and in a management position as you are, you have a vision. Mm-hmm. So we're heading into the fourth quarter of 2016, 2017 laying ahead. Commodity prices have gone higher in the last 6 months based on, cost of production. How do you see 2017 shaping up for Bedell? And part B of that question is, what's your vision, what's your hope, and what's your milestones?
Sure, no. So as we move into next year, my team and I have only recently taken control of this company. So this year is a consolidation year. I expect next year we'll also produce around that 150,000 ounce level, but it'll be a lot more consistent quarter on quarter. Our ultimate aim here is to build this company, Bedell, into a North American listed intermediate producer, because I think that's where we get the best valuation. And I expect that's somewhere north of 300,000 ounces, but that's for the future. Right now we're focusing on getting our operation running as best we can.
What are some of the other names of large producers in like the elephants in the neighborhood?
Oh, look, in Brazil, we've got most of the major companies are in there, Kinross and Yamana and Goldfields. So we're in there with the big boys. We kind of fly a little bit under the radar, being a smallish Australian-listed company. And that's how we like it. We think there's massive opportunity here, and if we continue to have the exploration success that we're having, we'll certainly get the attention of those guys going forward.
Now, although you have a large land package right now, are you looking to increase the size of your land package? And part B of that question is, are you doing drilling currently?
We're not looking to increase the size of our land package. We have a very substantial land package. We don't need any more. We are drilling currently. We have 5 rigs on site, and we expect there to be ongoing exploration results as we move forward into the rest of this year.
Simon, where can our investor audience get more information on Bedell?
Absolutely. Look, Shelley, they can go to our website, which is bedellresources.com.au. Bedell is Beadell.
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Jackson, Bedell Resources Limited. It's BDR on the ASX. It's a publicly traded company. I'm Shelley Craft. This is SNN Live, and we're coming to you live from the Precious Metals Summit in Beaver Creek, Colorado, 2016. I want to thank you for coming on to SNN Live.
Thank you very much for having me, Shelley.
My pleasure.